Hey everybody, I'm Delicia and thanks for tuning in to another cigar review. So today I'm going to be taking a look at the Punch Knuckle Buster, a newer release from Punch Cigars. And love the name, love the emblem, very cute. This one is kind of supposed to be like a budget-friendly, wallet-friendly type of offering from Punch. There's 3 sizes that it's available in so far. We have a Robusto that's at $4.99, a Toro at about $5.50, and then a Gordo at about, well, just under $6, so $5.99. And again, depending on where you buy it, all of those fun things, it may change a little bit, but that's basically the MSRP for those 3 different vitolas. And what I've noticed about this one is it has a really beautiful oil sheen to it. Kind of simple in the presentation, and again, that's kind of along the lines with it being more of a wallet-friendly offering. Punch actually is quoted saying it's a hardworking blend for a hardworking people, and they're claiming that it's a medium body and it's pretty much for any level of cigar smoker. So whether you're newer to smoking, a well-experienced smoker, it's going to be able to appease, both ends of the spectrum. So we'll see. I'm going to go ahead and get into this, and I'm going to use a straight cut for that. I'm smoking the Toro today. A little bit of spice on the pre-lit draw, not much. A little bit of earth. The blend itself is a Nicaraguan Habano wrapper over a Nicaraguan binder and then Nicaraguan and Honduran on the filler. And I believe these are actually made at their factory in Honduras, in Danli, Honduras. That lit up just nice, kind of effortless. I like that. A little bit of spice and a little bit of anise right off the bat. That spice is actually lingering. So a few seconds after you actually release the smoke, you pick up a little bit of that tingling in the back of the tongue. A little bit of cedar. Really picking up that spicy element. Reminds me of a cayenne pepperish more so than, there's a little bit of a traditional black pepper, but it's a little bit behind. What really comes out more so to me is more of a red or cayenne pepper, the sensation of it as well as the flavor of it. So decent start to it. Nice amount of smoke output. I do have my fan on overhead, so I forgot to turn it off before I started filming. That's of course pushing the smoke away, but I'll try and turn that off here after when I check back in for the second, third. But yeah, nice amount of smoke output, beautiful aroma, very inviting. It's always nice. So I'm gonna go ahead and smoke this down a little bit, of course, and I'm gonna check back in for the second, third. All right, so coming back in on the second, third, almost at the halfway point, actually at the halfway point on the Punch Knuckle Buster. The flavors haven't changed too much. It was very spicy in the first, almost throughout the whole entire first third. A little bit too much spice for my personal taste, but again, if you are a fan of very spicy cigars, you will enjoy this one quite a bit. I do think that after it sits for a little while in the humidor, it'll calm down slightly. Once all of those flavors kind of settle in, especially with the spice in particular. But it's good. It has some nice flavors to it. Definitely has, again, as I mentioned, that spicy undertone. More so as I'm getting into the middle of the cigar, it's leaning more on the kind of cinnamon spice versus that cayenne black pepper in the initial part. There's also been kind of an artificial sweetness to it. candied something. I want to say again, kind of like licoricey, you know, that type of just, it reminds me of just kind of like a candy-like sweetness, but again, it's more of that artificial sweetness that I'm tasting. Some cedar underlying, and that's kind of where it's at right about now. So it's good. You know, it's not excellent. It's definitely not bad. It's somewhere, you know, right in the middle, which I'm not being too critical of it. As I mentioned in the very beginning, it's a price-friendly, wallet-friendly stick. So again, low end of it being just under $5 with the high end being right at $6. So you can't be too critical of something like that with that price point. But again, good. So I'm going to continue to smoke it down a little bit more, and I'll check back in one last time to see if there's any, you know, crazy changes to the flavor or the way it smokes. The way it does smoke, by the way, is just fine. No problems on the burn, no tight draw, nothing like that. So it's fine when it comes to the overall, you know, construction and things like that. So far so good. Gonna smoke it down a little bit more and check back in one last time. All right, so coming back for the last third on the Punch Knuckle Buster. Still have a little bit left, but kind of at my fill for now. Again, it's not a bad cigar. It's just, it's a little bit too spicy for my taste, as I mentioned in the beginning, but that's not to say anything because there's a lot of you who enjoy spice. So if you're a fan of spice, you will enjoy this particular cigar. And again, for the price point, it's good. It is my guess that if you have a bundle or so and you leave them in your humidor, they're going to be nice, and probably about a year or so that spice will settle down slightly. Towards this final part, there's been a little tiny hint of a molasses flavor, and then again just more spice. So kind of went back and forth in the beginning with more of a red spice with a little bit of a black pepper on the finish. And then in the middle, it was kind of little hints of almost a cinnamon spice. And now it's gone back to that kind of a red cayenne pepper and black pepper together. So it's a nice little punch for you. Not sure if a new smoker would enjoy it. That's kind of their claim for this particular stick, that it's a cigar that can be enjoyed by any level of cigar smoker, meaning any experience of cigar smoker is how I take that. So whether you're a beginner or an avid smoker, that you'll enjoy it alike. And I don't know that a newbie is going to really like the amount of spice in here. I could be wrong. In fact, if you are a new smoker and you try it, I'd love to hear your feedback. But just my opinion that I think a brand new smoker might not necessarily want to experience this much spice. But yeah, that's just my 2 cents. Again, not a bad cigar, definitely nice for the price point. Any higher than that, I probably wouldn't buy it. But again, right in that, being in the basically $5 to $6 price range, it's good. You know, grab a few of them, let them sit in your humidor. And then again, if you've smoked it already, I'd love to hear your feedback. If you plan on smoking it, if you have never heard of them, any of those things, I'd love to hear your opinions, and I appreciate all the comments and all the nice things that you guys chime in to say. So I do look forward to reading what your opinion is of this cigar, and thanks so much for tuning in. Stay safe, and I'll see you soon. Cheers.